To debrief with you live yesterday, Commissioner, you're putting now measures forward to make housing more available and more affordable for Europeans. It's a big concern, but what can you really do? This is, for the most part, a national competence.
Well, yes, it is true that it is a big concern. We are in a housing crisis and thereby a social crisis. So we've put forward a whole range of different measures that we will introduce in the months and years to come. One is, for instance, short-term rentals. So not that short-term rental as such is a bad idea, they can be good, but some places we've seen how they push the prices up on housing and sometimes even crowd out normal people from their homes, and we need to do something to remedy that.
And of course, is there speculation when it comes to both rent and buying houses? There's a generation of Europeans, and you could argue this is a big societal failure, who believe I will never be able to buy a house.
It's also the case, actually, unfortunately, that young people are not able to leave their parents' house. So I think the average age is more than 26 now. In some countries, it's more than 30. Sometimes it's because they want to buy a house and they can't. Other times it's because there simply is no renting available. So we need to build more houses. We need to also use the buildings that we have better. So in some cities, even cities where they're experiencing big problems with not having enough houses, there are also a lot of vacant houses and a lot of vacant buildings. So we need to find ways of using these buildings better, renovating them. And we're also telling countries, look at the rules that you have, because maybe you can actually regulate this yourself so that indeed these buildings will be available for housing.
And Commissioner, just help us understand, of course, Europe is very complex at times and the situation in every country is different, but is this an issue of speculation in the market? Is this an issue of permits that are not given, a lack of construction stock? What is the issue now in this market?
Yeah, well, it's many different things, and one thing certainly is that there is a lot of bureaucracy and red tape that we need to deal with, so permitting needs to be easier. We also need standardization for different types of goods and services in the building industry, so that the internal market will start working here also in the construction industry. And finally, speculation you mentioned. Well, yes, some are arguing, some experts are arguing that this is indeed a problem. Others are saying probably not so much. So what we'll do is we will start an analysis, and then we will present next year our take on that, because we do need more transparency if we are to deal with it.
And this is the first time the Commission tackles this issue. Some argue it's very difficult to change things from the Commission's perspective because this is really a national competence and you're just trying to do politics. So how are you going to prove critics wrong, and what do you think is going to be achievable in the short term?
Well, it is true that there are many things that needs to be done on a local and national level, but what we can and will do on European level is, for instance, state aid rules. So today they are blocking countries helping support affordable housing, the building of affordable housing, so that we will change. We can provide funding. So, for instance, a pan-European investment platform has been set up together with the EIB. That will provide a lot of funding for building of new houses, renovating of old ones. And we are also allocating funding on our own budget to help boost the supply.
Okay, so you say this is not just optics and politics. There will be changes coming from the executive. But I have to ask you now, final question, perhaps a broader politics and the geopolitics. This is a very important week for Europe, a very important European Council slated for tomorrow. Reparations loan for Ukraine. What do you hope will come, and what do you wish to see from European leaders by the end of Thursday?
We obviously hope for agreement. This is, as you say, a very turbulent time. It's also a time where we need to stand together in Europe to show decisive action.
So yes to reparations loan?
We hope, of course, that what has been proposed by the European Commission will be supported.
Well, thank you so much, Commissioner. And of course,